are. Nowhere else. Could always say that though. So Monday night is practice night. Which means we don't need to talk about anything. Just need to keep sitting. Does anyone want to say anything?
It's always a practice.
Yeah. But it depends what you mean. What does it mean it's always a practice?
I mean, you always practice something. Even if you might be practicing the wrong thing, but you still practice something.
Yeah. I think one of the ways we try to define practice as part of a Dharma practice is that we're aware in a non-selfish way. That's the type of awareness we bring into our activity. So yeah, it doesn't matter the activity, but the quality of the awareness is different. We're not doing the activity just for us. It's not just, for me. It's not because of just my preferences. And you can include your preferences. It can be part of it. I can be making tea because I like this tea and I don't like that tea. But the awareness itself that you're bringing into making that tea, that presence, is less of just an I, a me. It's more just, awareness of what you're doing, because this is what I'm doing. I'm making tea, and so I'm making tea, and it's not just for my sake. I'm making tea actually for the sake of making tea. I mean, yeah, you're doing it because you're going to drink it, but then you forget that, and you're making it because that's what you're doing right now. And it's not just, it's not self-consciousness, it's consciousness. It's conscious of the making tea, but it's not always with the me involved. So that kind of shifts the quality of awareness so that the activity is a less self-centered one, and more you're doing things for the sake of the thing itself, not just for my sake. Even if in the end I do benefit from it because I'm the one who drinks tea. But it's not always about me. It may start about you. You may start your meditation practice because you specifically are uncomfortable, or you have difficulty and you want to help you get over your difficulty. I mean, that's part of the background reasons we engage in some type of spiritual path. But at some point that drops away and it's less about you. That doesn't mean it doesn't include you, but it just is less and less the focus of the activity. So you can come and you can start sitting because I need this, and then you forget about you while you're sitting. And that's what Dogen says. I mean, to study the Buddha way, study the self, and then to study the self is to forget about the self. Because you can start because it's about you, but that's not where it remains. It doesn't stay there. I mean, a lot of activities, let's say going to the gym, it starts about you, in the middle it's about you, and at the end it's about you. Okay? It's all about you, right? But that's okay. I mean, that's the purpose of the gym. But the meditation hall is different. It can start about you, but then when you sit down and you realize how much you there is, right? And then you can just be aware of those thoughts. The awareness then is not you. You're aware of, those thoughts, those self-thoughts. But the awareness of the self-thoughts is not that sense of me, that identity, that same, name, that name and form. Okay. The consciousness doesn't have, you can't really say what quality it is. It's like trying to define light. You only know light because of what it reflects. But light itself doesn't have any color. So consciousness doesn't have a quality to it except what it's conscious of, and then you're aware. So in that sense, trying to define your true nature and your true self is like trying to tell me the color of light. You just can't. It's only defined by what it reflects. Right? And so when we start to see, that's why they call it the unconditioned. And we have all these, Buddha nature and all these words of, true light and true self. It all misses it. Right? It's like, tell me the color of light. Okay? So, that's forgetting the self. That's what Dogen means when you forget the self. Because when you just, consciousness is just aware, that consciousness doesn't have a self to it, doesn't have a name to it. It's not you, even though, it's your awareness. Right? But it's all sentient beings' awareness. So that's just what it means to be conscious in this world. All sentient beings, all life forms have consciousness. That's what defines a life form. I mean, even when I was on the bus coming here, I was surprised. I saw something moving on my bag, no less. There was a cockroach. I thought, how interesting. What are the cockroaches doing here on the bus? I guess want a ride. Traveling. And then, of course, I thought, why on my bag? And my bag. Yeah. But look, I mean, I move the bag and it runs away. It has an awareness. It was aware of the bag moving. It was aware. It's conscious. In its way, it's conscious. Like it has awareness of the bag moving, awareness of movement, awareness of danger, awareness of all this stuff, right? It's a sentient being. Yeah. So all sentient beings share that sense of like you can be aware of something, which is an amazing thing. We actually have something in common with the cockroach, and it's called sentience. Which is quite remarkable when you actually think about it. Here's this little tiny thing, and it knows that there's something out there. It actually knows there's something out there. It knows there's something beyond itself. Even an amoeba, a one-cell organism, will sense that there's something else out there. It has an awareness of the outside world. That's sentience. That's amazing. That something as small as one cell can be aware of a universe outside of itself. And we think we're pretty special. Okay, but sentience, and it's called Buddha nature in that sense, is that awareness of the beyond. We give it all sorts of names, but it really is just an amoeba moving away. And then we make it really special to me. But when we just forget it, and there's just the awareness, the awareness of whatever without it being me. And what you're aware of is less of a problem. That's the point of letting go of the self-awareness all the time. Because then you can be aware of some of the stuff going on in your mind, and it's like, oh yeah, there's that again. I see that, I hear that, I know that. There's that knowing. But there's less identifying with it. Or what's called attachment. So, and that attachment is a source of pain. It truly is. So being able to be aware without attachment, aware of the same things that were bothering you before, but they were bothering you because of that, closeness, that holding that we had with it. You might have the same thoughts, but if you shift the awareness, then the thoughts are not as much of a problem. They just are patterns that keep coming and going, and coming and going. But that sense of identifying with it and saying me, and then I'm conscious of my thoughts, and owning it, and really that possession, okay, and that self-definition that comes out of it. Not, to study Buddha, study self is forget self. No, if we do it self-consciousness, then what we're doing is remembering the self every time we're aware of something. So instead of forgetting the self, we're remembering, oh, me, there's that. So that's what I'm like again. Oh, here's this going on again in meditation. Why did this happen again? Or, I wish this would change. Or, hey, this is nice. I'm doing this well. Come on. It's all, remembering the self. Or that just awareness, the colorless awareness, that light, that clear light, is forgetting the self. It's a mistake to think that forgetting the self means you have no thoughts. Forgetting the self means that you don't define yourself by those thoughts. And that's a relief. That all came from the comment, everything is practice. It can be.